part of I Love Mountains Day every year. That's a long, long, long-term commitment. And this year we are pleased to welcome her as our keynote speaker, Terry Blanton.
Go Terry!
Okay, I'm nervous enough. I even wrote it down so you guys wouldn't have to stay in this coat so long. So, as Sue said, my name is Terry Blanton, but for all you old people out there, I usually say, it's me, it's Terry B. And if you ever watch Andy Griffey, you'd know what I was talking about. So, I'm a Kentuckian, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. And I've helped raise who knows how many others along the way. Wherever I've lived, my house has always been a shelter in a storm. As long as I have a roof over my head, you are welcome to rest there. I believe in doing what I can to make life better for all people. Yeah. I'm also a proud member and former chairperson of Kentuckians for the Commonwealth. Yeah. Hell yeah! Hell to the yeah! So, I'm sorry. I get all excited. This is my favorite day of the whole year. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Go away. I grew up on the banks of Ewing Creek in Harlan County, near the point where it flows into the Cumberland River. As a child, I swam in that river. We were surrounded on all sides by protective mountains and forests. I grew up in paradise, and I still think that Eastern Kentucky and our state as a whole are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. We are blessed by good soil and plenty of rainfall. We live in the oldest mountains on earth, home to one of the most biodiverse hardwood forests found anywhere. And you know what? We come from long lines of people who can fix anything broken. Yeah, play any instrument with strings, and feed families with gardens scratched out of hillsides. But sadly, my home community today is an uncontrollable toxic mess. On all sides of the valley where I grew up, the mountains were blasted apart by mountaintop removal and strip mining. The mines are long closed, but acid mine drainage continues to flow down one side of the hill. Toxic mine drainage oozes down the other. Toxic orange water runs constantly into the headwaters of the Cumberland River. Most people I grew up with now are dead. Many of them from cancer caused by exposure to illegal dumped industrial waste. Many who remain, including myself and my family, have debilitating health conditions. But you know what? My story is not unique. From Eastern Kentucky to West Virginia to the west end of Louisville to Tennessee to North Carolina, we are all connected. And my favorite sign is, we might live in different hollers, but we share the same story of environmental justice. Right. Same story, different holler. Right. Poor communities and communities of color have always been targeted by destructive and polluting industries, while our elected officials and public agencies look the other way. Ask Elaine Tanner and Jimmy Howe up in Mill Creek. Groundwater wells in their community, I know it's arsenic, was poisoned with high levels of arsenic after nearby mining and drilling. Arsenic, think about that in your drinking water. Ask Kathy Little and her neighbors in the Cane Run area of Louisville, who continue to be smothered by pollution that flows from LG&E's coal ash dump. Ask our friends in West Virginia whose lives have been turned upside down by the recent toxic disaster that poisoned drinking water for over 300,000 people. And then yesterday we had another slurry impoundment break in West Virginia, Patriot slurry disaster yesterday. Yeah, another, just like the one in Martin County in 2001 in Kentucky. Ask the people of Danville, North Carolina, who are dealing with yet another flood of coal ash waste in their river. Another one of those happened in Charlotte, North Carolina yesterday also. So these are all familiar stories, and they're important stories, but they can't be the only stories we tell about ourselves. That's right. That's right. Because you know what? It's time for us to write a news story. I believe together we can build a a healthy democracy, a strong economy, and a clean environment in eastern Kentucky. We can do it. We can create an economy that is based on cleaning up and caring for our most precious resources, our people, our water, our forests, soil, and air. But we have to have a vision, and we have a vision. We have to demand and vote for it. We have to organize, and we have to build it together. That's why we're here today. You know, for example, we could put thousands of people to work restoring the places we love across eastern Kentucky and other parts of the state. There are funds sitting in Washington today that are supposed to be used to clean up abandoned mine sites, but millions upon millions of dollars sit there unused in our area. Why not invest that money in projects to reduce legacy water pollution? We know, now this is important, and I know it gets really deep, but we know that even when mining stops, the pollution does not go away. In fact, when KFTC members test streams below oat strip mines, we often find pollution levels so high that the streams are unable to support aquatic life, even 20 years later. There are no simple or cheap solutions to these situations, but states like Pennsylvania are creating jobs, reducing toxic pollution in streams, and even generating hydropower as they clean up old mine sites. Why not here in Kentucky? We can do it here. We can do it. Woo! So you know what we need to do? Let's create a new energy revolution in this state. A new power revolution. And somebody said I've been involved in this I Love Mountains from the very beginning. This is the 9th. So for the 9th time, I'm going to say to you, our workers in eastern Kentucky powered this state and nation for the past century. They should be at the forefront as we transition to cleaner energy sources. So one way we can jumpstart that is the Clean Energy Opportunity Act. We can jumpstart energy efficiency efforts and create jobs in solar, wind, and hydro production right here at home. This bill would create 20,000 new jobs in Kentucky, and it would keep money in people's pockets by helping them save energy that cuts their energy bills. We can do this. States all around us are doing it. We just need the political will to help move us forward. We need the political will to move us forward. So we know that positive change won't come easy. We live in a state where railroads, electric utilities, and fossil fuel industries have run the show for the past 100 years. They are really good at externalizing their costs and privatizing their gains. They cut corners, push costs of operations onto their workers and the public, and use their air and waterways as dumping grounds. No, it's not right. You made me lose my space. So as they're dumping their waste in our air and our waterways, they generate big profits, which they reinvest in public relations and political campaigns. The politicians that they help elect, or they buy, return the favor by taking every opportunity to weaken environmental rules and enforcement. I call this the vicious cycle of old power, and we see evidence of this all around us. And that, you know, I'm an Appalachian and a hillbilly, so I must tell you a story. So here's just one example of that vicious circle of old power. Selenium, a toxic chemical that causes deformity in fish. 5 years ago, our Governor Beshear and his Energy and Environment Cabinet knew that Kentucky had a selenium problem below surface mines. According to the Clean Water Act, the state's next move should have been to set a clear limit for the amount of selenium that coal companies could pollute. But state refused to release their data. After FOIA, after FOIA, after FOIA, the state would not release it. They waited till after the U.S. EPA approved a 5-year permit for mine pollution. So for the past 5 years, we've had untold amounts of selenium flowing into our streams and rivers and out of your faucets. This is really difficult, and I'm telling each and every one of you, for the next year, this is something that we all need to work on, and we need your help as much as we can. So, the next 5-year 402 general coal permit is up for renewal, and the Bush administration, hell, I'm so used to cussing him, the Bashir administration, what's the difference? I mean, heck. And the Bashir administration is once again pulling out all the stops to spare the industry from having to control their pollution. Last year, the state changed the way selenium is measured, not the simple way of testing the water, but Kentucky now requires testers to catch the fish, if there are any, and measure the amount of selenium in their ovaries to determine if there's a violation. I'm not making this stuff up. It's a deliberate, unenforceable standard, and we must fight it. Yeah. So please pay attention to this issue this year and help us make our voices heard. We must ensure that the next 5-year 402 general coal permit fully protects human health in our environment. The situation in West Virginia this past month is yet another case of story of old power. We've all been shocked at the lack of quick response from the water company and how little is known about the chemicals used in coal processing. It's outrageous that no one was watching out for the water supply serving 300,000 people. But do we really realize that that very same chemical that shut down an entire water system is also looming in slurry impoundments tucked away throughout our mountains? We have over 100 slurry impoundments in Kentucky. You'll find them wherever coal is processed. These are huge lakes built to contain leftover coal waste and cleaning chemicals. From there, the pollution seeps into our groundwater and overflows into our streams. And still, after 30 years, telling my age here, after 30 years of fighting for justice, I've decided that there's really only way to do it. It's to disrupt old power. We have to create the democracy that we all deserve. I'm going to say that again. We have to create the democracy that we all deserve. There are no shortcuts. We must build a strong grassroots new power movement. And that work starts by declaring what we are for, not just what we are against. We are for clean drinking water. Yeah! We are for clean air. Yeah! We are for healthy communities. Yeah! And we are for doing everything possible to make our homeland safe and healthy for our children and grandchildren. We have to educate ourselves and our neighbors and our friends about what's really going on. We have to reach out and involve more people. We have to be inclusive and build bridges with many different kinds of people. And we can't allow ourselves to be turned off to Kentucky politics. We have to get turned on to Kentucky politics. Oh, phew, I get this rest about me. Thank you. We must welcome the leadership of our young people, especially all the fierce student leaders who are here with us today. We need you. We need your strength. We need your energy. Because God knows I'm sorry for the mess that my generation and the generation before mine has left you. But we have so much work to do, and we can do it together. We can do it. So finally, building a new power movement means demanding action. Demanding action now from our elected leaders. Let's not walk away from here today and forget what we've learned, but continue to call and write Governor Beshear and your legislators, telling them how you feel. Let's tell them this, okay? I've got a few things to tell them. Invest in a just transition for workers and communities in eastern Kentucky. Pass the Clean Energy Opportunity Act, House Bill 195, and create 28,000 new jobs weatherizing homes and building renewable energy systems. Pass the Stream Saver bill and ban the dumping mine waste of headwater in our and ban the dumping of mine waste into our headwater streams. Yes! And as our sisters before us said, pass Senate Bill 14 and block pipeline companies from using the power of eminent domain to take people's land. And finally, we need to demand that our government fully funds and support the EPA, the Mine Health and Safety Administration, and other public agencies that exist to protect our health, safety, water, air, and climate. So thank you all very much for being here today. This is a long-term struggle, and I'm so glad to be working side by side with all of you. And I know together we can build a Kentucky's bright future. Thank you.
What's this? What does this look like? Democracy! Again? Democracy! Again? Democracy! And when I say new, you say what? New! 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 Sue. No! That's new economic power, new energy power, and new political power. Your voice will be heard. All right, I have a few people to thank. Chase, Sister McGowan, the singing nuns, our musicians, Terry Blanton, and I have one last thing that just came over the wire here. A federal judge has ruled that Kentucky must recognize same-sex marriages performed in other states, striking down part of the state ban. In a democracy, your voice is heard. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. Thank you. Don't forget to vote what you're for, and also pass that, what are the donation boxes, the baskets. Okay. Pass the donation box.
What do you think about?
Thanks, folks.
Do you think about doing a chant? I believe that we will win.